What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode number 51 of Project Xtalk, an Xbox podcast. Remember, if you like Xbox or video games in general, make sure to join us live every Thursday over here on YouTube. If you can't catch us live, we post every Friday morning on your favorite podcast service. If you could, even if you watch on YouTube, please head over there, drop us a rating. On whatever podcast you want to listen on. 43% of you, just pulling that number, maybe I got it from somewhere, listen on Apple Podcasts. So when you're over there, why not drop us a review, a rating? More people will come. We'll build a little community here. Anyway, it really does help us, and we do appreciate it. But enough pandering. I'm Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and today I am joined by my good buddy Tom and Garrett. So Tom, how you doing today?
I'm pretty good, man. I've been gaming pretty much all day in preparation for what you're playing. So
yeah,
I'm excited. I barely get any playtime, so I'm pretty interested in what I've been playing. So I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, Garrett, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. There's been way too much coming out in Game Pass over the last little bit. Like I'm swamped.
Oh yeah, man. I'm just like I'm looking at the list and I'm just oh my god. I'm not gonna
like,
find the time to play these.
Turn on my Xbox and look at what I've been playing lately. There's been a lot. So
yeah, I've seen you on there playing some games. Tom, you as well. Well, I mean, I'm great. I'm excited about what's coming to Game Pass. So if you guys want to jump into it, we can.
Okay.
I guess so.
All right. Well, if you're new here, every week we like to start by asking one simple question, and that question is, what you playing? So, Tom, you were pretty jazzed up. What you playing?
So right now I'm playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. I finally decided to pull the trigger. I know they were having a bunch of launch issues, and I was a little hesitant with the game because I did play Diablo 2 a little bit back in the day, but I never got into it. It was mainly my dad's game. He had it on his PC. I don't even know if he ever touched it, but I tried it, and I don't know. It just some of the mechanics in the game that they were talking about sounded a little dated, and obviously it's a game that's 20 years old now at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm glad I pulled the trigger on the game. Right now I'm playing Necromancer.
Classic.
Yeah, I'm towards the tail end of Act 1. What do you mean? The walking is slow.
Just because like Necromancer has always sort of been comedically overpowered in the Diablo series.
Yeah, so
you mainly just end up walking through the game.
I looked it up and I was like, well, if you're new at Diablo 2, Necromancer is the easiest. So I was like, oh, you know what? I don't need the action. I'll just summon a bunch of skeletons, some golems, and just walk around and they'll just slap everyone while I'm looking at my phone until they kill all the mobs. But
that's right.
It's great. Getting XP, getting through the story. There's actually a cool feature that I didn't even know was part of the game that you can swap over to the old graphics, and it looks like straight garbage, by the way. It goes to 800 times 600 resolution. It looks pixelated as hell. And the frame rate has to be like 10 FPS or something. It like jitters around and bounces around all over.
Hold up. It changes back to the original frame rate?
Yeah, dude. Yes. It is. So you don't want to play like that at all. I play in performance mode with the actually updated graphics, and it looks and feels smooth. But I jump around.
You know that you've upgraded.
Yeah. It's like, this is how it was. Don't play it like this, guys. It actually looks like garbage. But yeah, I'm having fun with that. I also have been playing Tales of Arise.
Yeah, you have. I've been seeing it.
I'm still so behind. So I just defeated the second boss of the game. Yes, and it says I'm 16 hours in. So am I playing it really slow?
You are going incredibly slow, my good sir.
Okay,
what difficulty are you playing on?
Moderate.
All right, that's what I played on. You're going very slow.
I don't know how.
Is it a very beautiful game? Is he just walking down the hallway?
I don't think the game looks beautiful at all. It's an okay looking game. No, I find myself diverting and killing every single mob on the map. And leaving the area, coming back to that same area to kill them all over again to level up again. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's just kind of the way I play.
I did that at the start too. Don't bother. One run through is enough. Just kill them once and then move on. Like find the collectibles in that area, the little hoodle, and then
So I had to, especially with the second boss. I found him extremely difficult.
Okay.
Compared to the very first one, he has.
Well, yeah, he's got that stupid move where he makes clones of himself.
Yes, and then it one-shots you, and I had to figure out on my own how to defeat him because I was getting one shot, and it was fun. It was fun learning, but man, that guy was hard as hell.
So if you want a tip for how to survive bosses, like overpowered one-hit kill moves, if you can't stop them, because you can stop them, there's usually a trick, but save your breaks, like your D-pad moves, and then use them when he casts his mystic art, because then you get the invincibility frames and then you won't die.
Well, the thing is that the game just taught you that, like towards that, like, right before that
fight.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I guess I have to use it now. This new thing you guys showed me. So it was a little harder, but it makes sense afterwards. But I'm liking the game. I still don't like the world of the game. It still looks a little weird to me. I really wish that the NPCs felt alive. Like I'm running through the second town, which looks really good. But everything just feels dead because no one's moving. They're just standing there like statues, and it's the most annoying thing. And
that's a Tales classic, man.
It doesn't have to be that way, though. It does not have to be. I mean, again,
that's a weird thing. Like, if I'm gonna just like come in from an outside perspective, that's a very odd thing to be a classic.
Yeah, exactly. You would think that's something they change.
Everyone's stationary.
Yeah.
I imagine that everyone in Zelda and Morrowind was too, but they all eventually got legs.
Exactly. And I'm liking the story of the game, at least. So that's what's keeping me through it, and I like the combat. But that's just the one thing that puts me off every single time. And besides that, I haven't played anything else this week.
Okay. All right. Well, those are two good choices. I was thinking about I've been eyeing Diablo 2. I keep going to the store and I'm like, do I want to play this? Like, is this something I need to spend $40 on? And then I leave the page and I was like, I'll keep thinking about it some more. And that's been me for like the last 2 weeks now. So I just haven't pulled the trigger. Melee Bombers in the chat. He says the second boss isn't hard. You just need to use Law's boost break. This pattern continues for literally every boss fight.
Yeah, I learned that because he had the shield that kept going up, and then you have to like break it off with Law until he eventually shatters, and then he becomes dirt easy after that. But I didn't figure that out until I died like 3 times.
And he follows it up with literally almost every JRPG has NPCs that are stationary. Why would I want characters that move and I have to search for them? That's a good point there. You know, searching for them after the fact would be annoying.
Okay, but
they could move around their store.
Yeah,
they can move. You can't look around in a square.
Some of these towns are big, man. I'd be annoyed if I had to
Or okay, let's take a half and half version like Skyrim, where there was like the people who had like their daily route. You could catch them on like the way to their house or whatever. But for the business hours of the day, you knew where they were at.
I think that's a Western RPG thing. That's the difference between Western and JRPGs.
I will say Final Fantasy VII Remake, the worlds there felt like the characters there felt more alive, even though they didn't move around as much, but they did move a little bit. But I guess that game just did something good about it. I don't know. Everything felt nice in there.
I like Tales more than Final Fantasy VII Remake. I did not like running through the world in Final because I was like, they're in my way. Get out of the way. Like I'm trying to run here and you're walking in front of me. Like move.
But it adds to the ambiance, you know?
The ambiance of them living in a crap hole. Yeah, I gotcha. I mean, not that Tales is much better. They literally live in like concentration camps. So they're not better off. But Garrett, I'm gonna head over to you, buddy. What you been playing? You said you've been doing a lot of gaming.
I pretty much let my gamer ADD go once again. So I'm not going in any particular order. I just sort of went to the bottom of my installed games. I'm working my way up on what I've been playing. So like put a bit of time into Superliminal, or is it what it's called? Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it's
I think
called.
so.
that's the
Yeah.
puzzle game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you just like you grab an object and then you use your perspective to enlarge or shrink it to complete your puzzle. It's a very interesting concept. And like I went through good enough and but like 45 minutes in I found myself in a puzzle where I just can't find an object left or right to do something with. So I'm like walking around the room and now I'm like clicking on lights and light switches and other odds and ends and things. But so I was playing that, and then like I'm supposedly the group crafting guy, so I had to try that Breath Edge on Game Pass.
I don't even know what that is.
Think like Subnautica but in space with a
I don't
more
think he even knows.
comedic
I don't
edge
think he
to it.
knows what Subnautica is, man.
I know
Oh
the only
God.
thing I know of Subnautica is I see people swimming in water.
Oh,
Yeah.
I also played that this week. Put 10
Yeah.
hours into it. And below zero because
Into
it came
Breath
out.
Edge? Oh yeah, into Below Zero. Yeah, I'm getting there. See? Like there's a lot of stuff that has come out. It's been a tight week. And then like I've still been playing Civilization. I'm really liking that. Found out like it has a very weird loophole when it says it's crossplay.
What's
So
the
like
loophole?
it says it's crossplay, right? But it's
Mhm.
only that PC players can play with other different versions of like Linux or Mac, and console players can play with other versions of consoles. They can't crossplay.
Are you actually playing it online?
Yeah, I tried like entering like the online thing, and like me and my buddy sat down until like he actually looked it up. He's like, "Oh, that's a very
I can't
odd
play
thing
that
to
game
say," but
online. Dude, when I played
yeah.
it, when I had the game and I played it online, me and my buddy did it, and our campaign lasted like 15 hours, maybe.
Oh yeah, no.
It's not fun, but it's not fun online. I'd rather just play alone at that point.
No, but you could just play a tiny map with just yourself and do speed rounds. So like
Well,
everything
no,
that
dude. Obviously,
double in
we
size.
want a fully populated map with 12 different nations battling it out. Come on.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what he wanted to. Is like, let's do a huge Earth game because like in this one you could get like a representation of the entire Earth. And like if you choose United States, your first city actually is New York and whatnot. Like that's how it plays out.
Represent.
Yeah. But so like I was doing that, played a little bit of Diablo 3 just because I got the stacked edition and Subnautica then, but we already talked about that. Very pretty game. Like bloody hell. It's beautiful.
I'm liking that one.
Played a bit more State of Decay, but that one I just find myself getting a little bit bored of now, just because like I started that game over like 20 times. And played some Diablo 2. Oh, and I tried to get like Fortnite I was playing a bit off and on again, but it kicked me out, and I don't know what happened to it this week.
It's
So
doing
like
you a favor.
yeah, it
Yeah.
like that's what my buddy said. I was like, yeah, at this point, I could probably just leave it the hell alone because like it wouldn't let me log in, so I uninstalled it, turned off the Xbox, did everything but actually like full on restart the thing, and it won't let me in the game. So it's like, at this point, it's not that big of a loss. And yeah, I was gonna try the Artful Escape, but I never got around to it. That was this week's Garrett
Man,
gaming roundup.
you're all over the place. You ever think
Right?
about just like sticking to a game and like beating it?
I
No,
understand him though. This is why I haven't beaten the game since
I
Yakuza.
don't.
I start games, I play maybe an hour or two, then I get bored and play another game, and then I just never go back.
yeah, but do
No.
you notice that like I only like to pick one or two of the same genre? Like
Yeah,
I'll
it's like
get
all survival.
Yeah, you
yeah,
love your survival games that
I
never
do
end.
like my survival games. It's always like a thing, a process to it.
Well, as long as you're having fun, buddy.
Uh,
I'll jump into what I've been playing. I've been playing way less than you guys because unlike you guys over here, all these games have come out, and I'm like, there's been nothing. It's been dead right now. I'm waiting. I'm like, when is the game gonna come out? Because I played Kana, Bridge of Spirits, and yes, it's pronounced Kana. not Kena Bridge of Spirits, as some people like to say. I played that over on PlayStation. That's a timed exclusive, so it should be coming to Xbox probably in a year, 6 months. But that is the best PS2 game on a PS5 that you could play. And what I mean by that is like, it is, you ever play Jack and Daxter? It
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of Jack and Daxter. So you have like kind of there's like combat, but it's a little stiff. It has puzzle solving, platforming elements, collectathon little thing going on where you got to find some stuff. Like in Jack and Daxter, it's like you got to find the orbs. In Kena, it's like you got to find these relics, and you got to find these rot little creatures. They're like the cutest little things. I did a whole review on our channel for it, so go check it out if you haven't. But I love this game. This game, it came out, it started at like an 88 on Metacritic, and everyone's like, oh my God, another W for PlayStation. You know, it's at an 82 now, which I think is probably where it kind of probably deserves to be, since there are some technical issues. There are lots of people getting like game-breaking bugs, getting hard locked at places. I did get the platinum for this. And
of course you did. Of course you did.
I mean, come on, a collectathon game. I'm there. The only
Where was the picture in chat?
Oh, yeah,
I didn't feel like bragging. You know? The only trophy that was like hard is the one where you're supposed to beat it on the hardest difficulty. But luckily, your boy got to the end of the game when there was an exploit where you save at the final thing, start a new game, then load up your previous save. And for some reason, it thinks that you, like, if you change the difficulty before you start a new game, it's like, oh, you must have beaten the game on the highest difficulty. That's been patched out now, so I got in right under the wire.
You saved some time.
That's
you
right.
Saved yourself some time.
Like, saved myself like 8 hours and a lot of frustration, because this game, while it looks beautiful, it's very like animated. It's colorful. It's like a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
It's hard as shit, man.
Is it really that hard?
Yes, the boss fights are incredibly difficult. I had to drop it down to story mode for some, like the final boss, and then there's one before it. Like normal is doable, but it can get frustrating. Like I died quite a few times. But higher difficulties, I'm like, you're reaching Dark Souls territory, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this nonsense. Like this, I thought this was gonna be a kid's game. Why are you making me fight these difficult monsters? I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if the combat was a little smoother, I think, because that is really like, and I dinged it in my review for it. The combat's a little stiff, and they give you like a bow and arrow. That's probably my preferred way to fight, but they give you like bombs they expect you to throw, and it's none of it's really that fluid. So combat is not the best. It's passable at best, but I think the world is great. The story's fine. The collectibles are good. So I love this game. It's not like game of the year, but I think it's a good, solid game.
I'm just glad that they're making games like this again. Like the Ratchet and Clank, the Kena. These are, like you said, real throwbacks of PS2 era games like Jack and Daxter, Attacking the Power of Juju.
Yeah.
Was it not really Sly Cooper? Sort of.
No,
not really.
it's not really Sly Cooper-ish.
More Ratchet and Clank for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Jack and Daxter is probably the closest thing I would compare it to. If we had to, you navigate around like a little hub world, the different areas to go off to from this hub world, and then, little platforming here and there, but
and
not like Banjo.
Mayday Bomber said, well, then they should spell it phonetically correct, and people would say it correctly. So Mayday Bomber, like English is one of the most like, when is anything phonetically correct in English though? We have some weird ass words that don't look the way they sound. It's just the way it is.
Knife,
yes.
Yeah. No, so I beat Kena since I last presented what games I'm checking out here. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Halo Master Chief Collection. Hit up my brother, hit up my friend. We've been playing a lot of hours into multiplayer right now. It's a great time, man. I forget how much I love Halo. There are a few matches where I'm like, this sucks, getting my ass kicked. mainly in Halo 4 because it's just a garbage game. It's awful. Who made some of the maps in Halo 4?
Yeah, the multiplayer does suck in that one. Did you get a chance to play on the beta, by the way, of Infinite?
No, I did. No, I did get.
Are you in the new one?
Yes, I am in the new one. Xbox sent me a message last night. I'm gonna since I'm like busy this weekend. I'm like going apple picking and all. So like Sunday night, I think is when I'm gonna hop into the Halo Infinite because it's like 8 to midnight or something. So I'll probably play then.
Yeah, I think it lasted the 3rd of October.
Yeah. So I'll probably hop in Sunday, maybe a little before then, if I can get into the earlier session too, because I do want to check out Halo Infinite. I've seen some sweet clips, so I'm pretty excited, especially because I've been playing a bunch of Halo, playing a few story missions here. I'm like, man, I love Halo, so good. Other than Halo, I've been playing FIFA for God knows what reason. Sometimes it's fun. Most of the time it's infuriating, and I'm like, what's the point of this? My group's like, we getting FIFA 22. I'm like, I ain't paying $70 for that garbage. Like, I was like, maybe if it's 60. I went and I was like, why is the Series X version $70? And I was like, they really doing this?
Didn't they make the hair physics even better this time?
Man, I can't even. I just I'm not doing it. I'm gonna wait for it to come to Game Pass in like 6 months, and then I'll play it. But that's all I've been playing. I'm really just waiting for Nick All-Stars on Tuesday, man. I'm so excited for that game. I honestly can't wait. Like, they're doing character showcases every day, and like 1 p.m. I'm there. I'm like, all right, lunch break, time to watch Reptar's moveset. Like, I'm so pumped, man. You don't even understand. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be wave dashing with Ren and Stimpy. What's up, Garrett? You want to say something?
No, it was a cut in from way before. I just didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine.
So, what's with the apple picking?
What do you mean? Me and the girlfriend are going apple picking. What are you talking about?
Is it like a pumpkin patch sort of like thing? You like make an afternoon of it? Do they like?
Oh, they're just huge fields.
You make an afternoon of apple picking. How many apples are you getting?
That's a fun thing, dude.
Wait, hold up. Do you not have apple picking in Canada?
Well, yeah, but it's a 30-minute affair, not a.
Well, no, because you want to pick the best apple, and then like this one might be good for a pie. This one's gonna be good for breakfast.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Is like most people have one in their backyard. Like, I have raspberries, roses, and
dude, we live in
cities.
Backyard. We don't have trees. We don't have fruit trees.
I'm gonna take a 30-minute trip to the middle of nowhere, go into this orchard specifically designed for apples, and there's gonna be like 40 different apples. To be like, here are the 20 you can pick today, and I'll be like, do I even like these? And I gotta go around to all the trees, bite the apples, be like, I don't really like this apple, and see which one I want to get. And then you go to the store and be like, what kind of fudge you got? What kind of pies you got? What kind of there is a pumpkin patch. I don't know if I got any pumpkins. I might go to a different pumpkin patch, but you got to hit up the pumpkin patch. There's a hay ride. There's a corn maze. There's an animal farm to go pet some animals. Like, apple picking is an all-day thing.
Hallmark movies were bullshit up until now. That's so charming.
This is standard apple picking 101.
Yeah, dude. It's not an in and out affair. One, traffic takes like 30 minutes just to get in sometimes because these things get packed.
Yeah,
so you get in, you're gonna spend your time now because you already had to wait 30 minutes just to get in there.
So like you don't have like a Saturday farmers market.
We have farmers markets.
Those are things, but it's not the same.
We have farmers markets. There's one up the road. It's the experience, man. It's the experience. And then I'm gonna come home with a giant bag of apples.
Forced movie, whatnot. Okay, but whatever. It sounds like a great date.
So now that everyone knows my plans,
they're gonna check every single apple patch.
Every single apple patch.
Now you got to tweet about it.
Yeah. New York. They're gonna check every apple patch in upstate New York.
Every apple patch. There's multiple.
Yes.
What?
Of course there's.
What?
Like, I thought there couldn't be more than like 6.
Bro, there's I could Google it. There's probably like 15 within like a 30-minute drive or something.
Oh my God.
And that's just around me. Like, there's hours worth of driving to do in New York. Like, you can't get to the top of New York and bottom of New York in like 6 hours. You can't do it.
That's amazing.
I love that. That's what he was
Like,
interested
I
in,
think
and none of the
that's
games.
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Screw the
We were
games.
talking about Halo,
oh no,
Halo
I
4. You
like
could have jumped
the,
in.
like
But no.
He's like, Kana can shove an apple up her butt. I don't care about Kana. I don't care about Halo. Master
well, no,
Chief's
like Kane, I'm
lame.
gonna play, so like I don't want to hear too much about Halo. Like, yeah, Force junk. What else on it? I have. I'm basically just waiting for the new one, so I'm not gonna try to get into the flight. I just want to be wowed off the hop. No teasers for me. And yeah, anything else I was missing a comment on?
So you don't want the friend code that he sent me? Is what you're saying?
No, no. I told you before that I didn't want it. I'm like, no, I'm actively turning it down. I just want to play it when it comes out, and I'll just be like, damn, damn, Daniel.
All right. So you guys want to talk about some games, or should we make this an Apple podcast? Like, I'm not really sure where we're going here, but I
I
think
could go on more, but like, let's go to Xbox.
yeah, I think it's time we dive deep into the library of news. So, story number 1, we have an update from the initiative regarding Perfect Dark, coming from their Twitter. Literally after we got off our podcast last week, I'm pretty sure this is when this broke. But they announced, "quote We're partnering with Crystal Dynamics, the world-class team behind character-driven games such as Tomb Raider, to bring the first-person spy thriller to a new generation." The teams couldn't pass up a chance to work together. We're still in early development, but incredibly excited to use this opportunity to deliver on the vision of Perfect Dark. It's worth noting that the director of Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider, Daniel Newberger, was recruited from Crystal Dynamics to work at the initiative, where he currently still is. There's been a lot of backlash and speculation, like why do they need another AAA studio to come in? You know, this is supposed to be Xbox's quad A developer, the initiative. So why is Crystal Dynamics here? And people are like really concerned that this means Perfect Dark is in development hell. So I want to pose a question to I'm going to go to you first, Tom. Should we be concerned that Crystal Dynamics is now on board?
No. So, if anything, this is going to provide the game a better direction. They might have been lost in the shuffle somewhere, of not exactly sure what they're going to do. And having Crystal Dynamic on board, now we know, all right, they've worked on Tomb Raider games, they have great engines. So, depending on what they're going to contribute development wise for this game, it can only be a positive into ensuring that this game is as polished as possible. And maybe, just maybe, in the next Perfect Dark game down the line, the initiative no longer needs the training wheels and they go on their own. This is still a brand new studio. No matter with it having, all these seasons, developers and producers. And I think the help should be appreciated. But I get the concern. People are saying, well, this is supposed to be the quad A studio for Xbox. But yeah, I mean, who's hyping it that like that though? I never was like, oh, the initiative is gonna make the best game ever. They're gonna push all these quad A games. No, I never thought of it like that. They're just another developer under the Microsoft banner, and they'll get some help with this game, and it'll turn out well, and we'll get it on Game Pass, and I can't complain.
Yeah, I've heard some people. So the quad A thing comes from a job listing, right? Where they were like, we're hiring to make a quad A game when they were recruiting people. So people have really latched on to that. I don't know if Microsoft have ever come out and been like, this is a quad A studio. I don't know if that's ever a quote from like Phil Spencer. So it could be simple, like, hey, we mistyped a job listing, which I've seen some people say.
Because is there even one quad A game? Like, I'm pretty sure it's just triple A's. Like,
What does
the
it
best
even
of the
mean?
best.
Like, what is
I
it?
don't
What does
know.
it even mean?
Wouldn't it just be like, it shouldn't just be like an S tier game at that point? Not even
Like,
triple A.
how many A's can you possibly fit? It's a penta A game.
Ah, yes, the graphics are realistic.
It's literally just humans on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett, should we be concerned Crystal Dynamics is now involved?
I was gonna say not at all. Just from like the business side of it, I was thinking, because like you guys got the computer in front of you. If I leave this screen, I get locked out and it gets all janky. But like, I'm pretty sure the initiative is still only like 70 people, right?
I believe so, yes.
So I think it's perfectly understandable that they could storyboard their game, do their lineup, even do a few rough drafts, and then they bring in the other guys to just like, hey, help us flush it out so that our first release, we don't have a bunch of PlayStation fanboys nitpicking about how the hair clips into the scene on the one cut through on the fourth angle in the third level.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No.
Like there's still only 70 people. Well,
Yeah.
the other studio is like what, 300? So I think at this point it's a lot less of like, oh, they're helping us save this game. And I think they're just looking for the proper AAA representation coming out of the gate, right?
And if
And
anything,
the
now we'll get it
main dude
earlier.
used to be with the other studio, correct? So he
Yeah.
already has those ties. He already knows how they work, right? So he's like, hey, he could just throw the project at him, show what they're working on, and just get it done in a proper timeline, right? Because it goes from 70 people finishing up and polishing a game to 370 people finishing up and polishing a game. I think it's just business.
Yeah, no,
Do you want to see the game in 2025 or later 2022?
well, I mean, they say they're still in early development, so I would still say 2023 is probably the earliest. 2024, maybe, depending on like what early development means. For me personally, when I first saw it, my initial reaction was like, why? And then, oh God, they made Avengers. Like, I don't want them to work on this because, even though I'm going to go try Avengers, now it's on Game Pass coming up, little spoiler. But I
actually got that downloading right now.
Yeah, I downloaded it today, but I was worried just seeing their most recent game not have such good success, but their track record is good. If you look at the Tomb Raider series, that is well regarded. It might not have met the sales figures Square Enix wanted it to, but I've never heard a single person that's played Tomb Raider say it's a bad series. So if they take what they know about making Tomb Raider, which is, they took Lara Croft, added a good narrative. If they take those elements and assist the initiative, how do we flesh out Joanna Dark? How do we make her like a character that can stand against all these juggernauts in the gaming industry? Then I think that is, basically what they're there to do. I don't think that this is something like, oh, the initiative's struggling, the game is in development hell. I don't see this as something like we need Crystal Dynamics. I think this is more, we want Crystal Dynamics to come help because of their previous success, because we could really use an outside perspective on this. And people are blowing this out of the water because AAA studios get help all the time. They're just uncredited. Like The Last of Us Part 2 had like 14 studios working on it, but all you ever hear is Naughty Dog delivered a amazing game, 10 out of 10. Like, so many people had their hands in there in some way or the other. It could have been small, it could have been big. Until we get someone coming on here and being like, this is what Crystal Dynamics did and this is what the initiative did, I don't think we can start nitpicking and being like, well, they're here for this reason and they're here for that reason. So for me, it's a non-issue, and sounds like we're all in agreement on that. So I did want to bring up one other point I've seen going around, and that is the possibility that this is sort of a trial period to see how Crystal Dynamics works in an Xbox ecosystem, because Square might be trying to sell them to Microsoft. I don't know if you guys have seen this little rumor going around here, but it's
if
an
they're
interesting
buying
one.
individual studios, I hope they do BioWare first.
See,
BioWare freed from EA would do so much better.
I would love Crystal Dynamics
Just even
for two
independent
things.
at this point.
If we can get them just for Gex and Soul Reverie.
I don't even know what you're saying to me right now.
What?
Are
do
you
you mean?
speaking in English?
Gex?
Yes.
Soul Reverie?
Yes.
What is this? I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you not play video games back during the PS1 era? What the hell?
I I played the N64. I didn't play PS1 much, to be
So
honest.
Gex was a platformer game with a lizard.
Wait, oh, Gex the Gecko. That's who you're
Gex the
talking about.
Gecko, yes,
Okay,
Gex.
okay.
Oh, with the sunglasses, right?
Yeah, and he wears the sunglasses
Yeah.
in the third one, I think.
I think we're a
Yes.
little removed from Gex the Gecko. I don't think.
No, we can get him back. See, this guy says my RuneScape account or Gregor's my RuneScape account was named after Gex. Boom. Someone
Shows-
likes it. Yes,
shows
thank
some
you.
respect.
You're so retro.
Oh man.
No, that's a good. Listen, when you got to say his full name, okay? He's not just Gex. He's Gex the Gecko. You know?
Well, the game is called just Gex.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. But back to the question I posed. Do you think this could be Square Enix trying to be like, take them for a little test run? If you like them, come back to the table and we'll talk about maybe selling them to you.
Probably not.
Yeah. I think it's just people seeing Sony snapping up studios and being like, "Oh, man, I wish I had a studio to celebrate."
Yeah, like I'm sure we're gonna get more acquisitions announcements of soonish, but no, that's not gonna be one of them. I mean, that's just business.
Garrett, anything else to add?
Not too much, really. It might be at this point. Like I could see it. Like after Bethesda, like I said back in the day, there's nothing that's off the table anymore, really, except for like EA and other like-minded big ass places. But like, nah, like possibly, I could see it.
Well, stay tuned, and I just hope Perfect Dark is good. That's really the main thing. And if this helps them make a good game, that's fine. But I know for a fact when Perfect Dark comes out, if it's good, there will be fanboys just being like, "Well, Crystal Dynamics made it, not Xbox." I know for a fact.
They're going to. They will.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Well, guys, we're gonna move on to story number 2. And we're still talking about Crystal Dynamics, but not about Perfect Dark, because Marvel's Avengers is now available on Xbox Game Pass. Announced 2 days ago by Hunter Wolf, the community coordinator of Crystal Dynamics, Marvel Avengers, including all previously released free content, is now available on Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud. This includes the recently released War for Wakanda expansion, but does not include the 8 cosmetic items found in the digital-only Endgame edition. So I'm going to go first because this was literally the only way that they would get me to play this game. I basically have said that since it was revealed, and I was like, look at these budget looking MCU models. Like they're the ugliest character models I've ever seen. Just give me Chris Evans. Just literally rip off the MCU. That's all you had to do. Instead, you're making Captain America look like a redneck frat boy. I don't like how they look at all, but his face looks like a redneck frat boy. Don't even come at me.
Dude, I think they all look fine.
They look awful.
They don't have to copy the movies.
They look awful.
They look fine.
Listen, man, it's not even like just copy. Don't even copy the movies. Just make it look better. Like Ultimate Alliance 3 looks better than this game. I'm gonna say that straight up.
I don't agree. Now you're just lying to yourself now.
No,
and you're lying to us. You're lying to our listeners.
No. The art style
just being
and character
rude.
models is awful in this game. But I downloaded it. It's sitting on my Xbox. I'm gonna give it a go after this podcast. And will I do a Game Pass and review for it? Who knows? Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I'll tear it down. Gregor's in the chat says Kevin is irrationally hostile towards this game. Factually correct. But I mean, like I said, this is the only way you were going to get me to play this game. Even when I was looking at it and it was on sale for $20 a week ago, I was like, that's still too much. $20 is too much. Tom, you've played Avengers before. What do you think here?
The story is good. I mean, I honestly believe that the combat in this game is fun. It's really fun. And just playing through the main story, it's a really well-crafted story with you following like Kamala Khan and her adventures. I think for that alone, it's a good game that's worth it. Not $60 worth, but maybe 20 for sure. Now it's on Game Pass. You have no excuse. Try it out. Stop complaining about the way they look and just play the damn game now.
Shout out Luke Lore says, "LOL, hating on my Avengers." Sorry, Luke. Listen, like I told you, my friend's been trying to get me to play it. I'm gonna play it. Maybe I'll fall in love with it, and then I'll be like, "Luke, help me out here, bro." But we'll find out. Garrett, you gonna jump into Avengers?
Yeah, I'm downloading it right now.
Cool.
I figured I'd give it a whirl. It's absolutely free, so I could at least give a 30-second review on it.
Gregor says agreed on all accounts, Tom. So seems he's a fan of Avengers. Maybe y'all should party up. Did they fix the issue where you can only have one of each, right? You can have multiple. I think so. I think I saw
Did they change
that.
I mean,
Really?
they should have. That was really stupid.
They opened up the multiverse.
I think so.
Run around with two Thors, two Captain Americas.
As long as you let me be Iron Man, as long as I can be Iron Man, that's really all I'm looking. And he feels good. I'm really worried about how he feels. I've heard bad things.
I think he plays fine.
Okay.
The only thing is about Iron Man I can say is without even like looking at the character he doesn't look like Tony Stark from the movies. Well, he also does not really I think his personality in this game is actually garbage compared to the movies. He feels so weird in it. I don't know. He never grew on me at all during the entire story.
Gregor says Iron Man is trash, but you can definitely play him. Wow. All right. And guess we'll find out. But like I said, Avengers available now. You'll get more of my impressions sometime in the near future. Maybe I'll come down on it. Maybe my anger will soothe. Good job, Tom. Kevin's gonna uninstall. Oh, Luke, you main Iron Man. All right, my guy. I knew I liked you. I knew you had good taste in superheroes. So I'm gonna go Iron Man, and I'll report back next week on if he's awesome or awful. But we're gonna move on to story number 3. And that is Xbox had their Tokyo Game Showcase today, kind of last night, like overnight for us. It's in Japan.
It was like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Just a little early.
Pretty convenient. And while no one was expecting anything major, these expectations were met. We did get a few interesting news topics that I'm going to go over here, guys. First, it's that the new titles are coming to Game Pass. Firstly, we have one anime action JRPG Scarlet Nexus. Released back in June, the title's available today on Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud. Joining Scarlet Nexus is AI Somnium Files, a narrative game similar to Danganronpa, which puts you in the role of a detective. You got to make choices to solve a murder mystery. It has an 86 on Metacritic, so good addition if you like those types of games. You gonna jump into Scarlet Nexus, Tom? I know you were holding off on buying it, even though I gave it a great review.
No, I'm definitely not. My thing with Scarlet Nexus is still the world, dude. I just hate the post-apocalyptic look, the sepia-tone, yellowish feel. I don't know. It just looks weird to me. I'm not gonna play it. I'm not. Combat was fun from when I played the demo way back, but that's why I never bought it either way. And it depends. If I'm really bored one day and I really have nothing to play, I might try it.
But why? It's not even, man. It's not even like really that post-apocalyptic. Like you don't feel that way. There are people in the cities,
dude. But everything is like so like the colors is just so dull in the game. I just can't. That's why I bought Tales, and I was like, oh, this game's colorful as heck. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm actually in anime. And then this one is just Scarlet Nexus comes in and just.
I will tell you that the combat loop in Scarlet Nexus is pretty good. Like if you like the Tales combat loop, it's not as good as the Tales one in my opinion, but it is pretty damn satisfying.
Yeah, from what I played, it felt a little bit like Devil May Cry, but light. So
that's fair.
Good either way.
That's fair. Garrett, you're not particularly a JRPG fan, but is this one you might check out?
No, there's simply too much on my list for this fall. Like that, I could say I'll put it on the list of JRPGs that I'm waiting to play. Like
That
it
list
looks
is so long.
definitely
He's
like
waiting
it's,
forever.
yeah, like there's just so much interesting things out. Like honestly, I'm probably other than like Halo and Forza, I'm probably most excited for the new Jurassic Park game.
I can't even with you in this Jurassic Park game, man.
I know, like I blew you out of the water, and I think it's so comical. Yeah, dude, I really
Listen.
like dinosaurs.
I hope it's everything you dream of. If you like
Yeah.
dinosaurs, Reptars and Nick All
Even
Star Brawl.
backstory, my parents used to make fun of me when I was a child because I thought that if you wanted to be a scientist or something, you just chopped off the last few letters and added ologist on the end of it. So up until I was like 4, whenever somebody asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I said I wanted to be a gynecologist.
It's not a thing.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, ha 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 ha.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's you're a weirdo. That's all I gotta
Yeah, I
say,
know.
man.
Gynecologist.
Yeah.
Gynecologist. Okay. Well,
Well, but with the kid's stutter, it sounded like gynecologist.
yeah, I got that. I understood the story.
Yeah, I
We're
don't know.
all
You
adults
really
here.
stood. Like I thought I had you stumped for a second there.
No.
Oh,
Got
it
the
was
whole.
just that petty.
I
Jesus,
was
you're a hard
gonna.
nut to crack. I will get you one day.
Gregor says
Okay.
gynecologist is hilarious. I was gonna move past it. You didn't have to say what it sounded like. I was literally gonna be like, we all get it. We're all adults here. Time to move on. But no.
Yeah,
Now
but
it's
we
out
still
there.
have to flush out. How much more time? It was a light story week.
We have plenty of stories, man. We're not stressing for
Why do you
time
think I
here.
chose this in apples?
Okay. Well, apart from that, this AI Somnium files definitely not my type of game. I don't know if you like those narrative style game like Telltale games, Garrett. I know Amon does, and Tom. I think you played Doki Doki Literature Club earlier this year.
Yeah.
So
This is one I was actually looking into a while ago because I really wanted a detective game. And I was looking into like, oh, maybe I should play Ellie Noire again. Well, I've played that. And I just wanted something to make me feel like I'm a detective. And this is the game that I was being recommended by one of my buddies. So I'm glad it's on Game Pass. I'm probably going to try it out, and I already downloaded it. So I'll just see you when I get to it.
nice. Let me know how it is because it does look interesting. I did look at it, and the art style looks really good. I'm just like, I don't know if I have time for that right now. I got Avengers. I got to grind. Gonna get some gear.
I'll load in with you. I'll carry you with Captain America. He's my main.
Sweet. We can get a little party going. And then I'll yell Avengers Assemble every 5 minutes.
No, I do that because I'm Captain America.
Anytime there's an encounter, I'm literally going to yell that. I don't care who you are. But we have more news coming out of the Tokyo Game Show, and that is starting tomorrow, October 1st. Xbox Cloud Gaming is officially launching in 4 new regions. Japan, Australia, Brazil, and Mexico will now be able to experience cloud gaming beta like the rest of us have been. While I don't know, I know. So what I want to talk about is Japan specifically because they love mobile gaming over there. So this could open up Xbox for Japan like massively. They're throwing Japanese games on the service available for cloud, like the 2 we just got today. It's not out of the question. Tales of Arise comes in a few months to Game Pass since they had the marketing rights for both Scarlet Nexus and that. So it could be that Japan is really going to open up to Xbox. I don't think they're going to get there with their consoles, but cloud could be the way. What do you guys think? A little quiet there.
I mean, I can see that. They love mobile gaming, but I think those 2 games alone wouldn't really put a dent in it, even if Tales of Arise did come through. They would still need more, and they don't have a lot of that. A lot of the Japanese style of games on there, and if they can just pull a little bit more, like get the Devil May Cries on there as well. There's also the newest Nier Automata game. I forget what it's called. Replicant, yes. If you can get that on there, then I can see it having a good start over there. But as it stands now with just Scarlet Nexus, we'll see. I mean, they have Yakuza as well. If really
Yeah,
they
they got
haven't
the whole
played it,
Yakuza series.
so we'll see. We'll see how it does in Japan. I mean, like you said, their consoles aren't going to do well over there, but hopefully this gives them a little taste and maybe keeps them in the ecosystem at least.
What you think, Garrett? Is this Xbox's backdoor into Japan and these other markets?
Not quite yet, but it's a good start. It might not be. It's a toe in the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, like he was saying, the Yakuza series and a few other games. Like, well, I was silent because I went over to like just Game Pass on the Xbox and just did like a quick scroll down, and yeah, he's right. You don't see too much at all for JRPGs. So yeah, but like it's a good start.
Yeah, I think we'll see more Japanese games as the generation progresses. I think Xbox is really committed to this whole Japan initiative that they got going on.
Yeah, whenever Scalebound comes out, we'll be okay.
I thought you were going to make a good point. You come out with Scalebound. All right, story number 4 ties into story number 3. So, Xbox Cloud Gaming on consoles begins today for Xbox insiders, coming from Jake Rosenberg over at the Xbox Wire. And if my neighbors don't stop stomping around up there, I'm going to be pretty upset. But starting today or yesterday, depending on when I wrote this, Xbox is now letting random subsets of alpha skip ahead and alpha insiders participate in the cloud beta on Xbox consoles. This allows cloud gaming through Xbox One and Xbox Series X consoles, meaning they can bypass downloads to play games, and they can also stream next-gen games like Microsoft Flight Simulator on previous-gen consoles like Xbox One and Xbox One S and Xbox One X. Since they can't handle it, they're not powerful enough, they put it in the cloud. What do you guys interested in cloud gaming on your Xbox Series X? Personally, for me, I don't see the appeal, but
I mean, it would be good to skip the downloads and just try out the game before you waste your time. So I don't see it as a bad thing at all. Just like for that, like as a little teaser, little taste. But yeah, when I pull up the Game Pass app on my Xbox, there actually was a little indicator that says skip the downloads for me.
mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if I have it, but I mean I'll check later. From what I've played before on it, it was on the web browser itself, and that works fine. But if they can just, I'm excited for it. Like, there's so many big games on Game Pass, and I don't have time to sit around just to see whether or not it's good. I might not even like it, and I'm gonna delete it immediately. So a little taste of it, it's good.
Avengers is 139 gigabytes.
That's a massive game.
Boy, let me tell you, I think some people might want to cloud stream that instead of downloading. Try it out. Garrett, you interested in this, buddy?
Sorry, I was looking at the download size. You caught me in sync, real time, looking at the download size. I was like, holy, and you're like, and talking to you, Garrett, yeah. But like with the internet, I think I could download it by the end of this show. But regarding the cloud, I think it's a great thing for like people in the country and whatnot. Because like my buddy, whenever a new game comes out, because he also buys digitally, because he wasn't the best with his discs growing up. I'll put it that way. So, but he lives in the country, so whenever he's downloading a game, he's like, "Okay, talk to you guys in like 3 days." So
what is his internet connection?
Some days it's good, some days it's bad. He goes off of satellite services.
Oh my Lord!
He can't get.
It's cloudy. You can't play today.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just like, all right, guys, there's a storm coming in at 6 o'clock. Do you want to play a few rounds of something?
Is that true?
Yeah, he's been like that for the last 3 years. He's insane. But like, I grew up with him since elementary school, so
I'd move. It's not worth it.
You'd move. Yeah, it's his family farm. They're like, he's
burn it to the ground. Move. Take the insurance. It's not worth it.
He's in line for that the new fancy Elon Musk internet, whatever that's called, Starlink.
Cool. I've heard good things about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I know a few people who got that. Like, yeah, we're up high enough that we could take it up to like 50
But
megabytes
is
a
it
second.
good enough for xCloud?
50. I have 500.
Yeah, right. Like that's the speed I'm sitting at. Like, well, technically it says a gig, but on my devices, I get up to like 550.
No, mine is slower than that. I get like 200, and like my upload is also really slow. But dude, I just want to talk real quick. I just
Mhm.
got my iPhone 12 because
Yeah.
they finally let me upgrade. I was like, or whatever. Dude, 5G is faster than my home internet, and it pisses me off. I'm just gonna have to start using that instead of like anything else because I'm getting like 800 megabytes download. I'm like,
Wow.
okay, that's my fucking phone.
What?
That's dope. King Arthur is here. Welcome. What up? Thanks for stopping by. I know I say this every week, but we do appreciate it. Yeah, no,
Dedication.
yeah. He's sharing on Twitter. He's a real one. He's a
Get
good
this
guy.
man an Excalibur.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. King Arthur. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. So we're gonna move on to story number 5. And that is Xbox is lowering the price of Game Pass in select regions. I'm pulling from Jeff Grubb over at GamesBeat. Microsoft is dropping the price of Game Pass in Chile, Hong Kong, and Israel. This comes as a response to current market conditions in those areas due to local currency and consumer spending power. So don't expect these changes to be widespread or extend to other regions. Xbox is also cutting the price of Xbox Live Gold in these areas. So when you convert the changes to United States dollars, not Canadian dollars, Garrett, so this probably still is a little hard for you to wrap your head around.
Oh no, everybody knows how to equate to American.
No, you
That's
don't. You're Canadian. Shh. Chile and Hong Kong will both see a reduction from $15 to $10 for Game Pass Ultimate, and Israel will drop from 17 to 12. So it's pretty good, guys. They're saving about $5 a month for Game Pass Ultimate, which gives them everything. I would love that in the US. That's definitely not going to happen, though.
I mean, it doesn't really matter anyways. I get Game Pass once a year during Black Friday for like $50 for the whole year, so I don't really care.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for these regions.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, obviously you have to be able to compete in those regions, and if it's too expensive, they're not going to pick it up. So no harm there. Just don't change your region on Xbox, guys, because they will ban your ass. Just saying.
Really?
Yeah, if you try to lie about the region you're in just to try to get a discount for that stuff, you can get banned.
Okay. I thought I was
Okay.
like, I
Yeah.
changed my region to play Tales of Arise 2 days early. So people do that
I
all
think
the
they really
time.
care about the buying itself.
Buying things. Yeah. That
Xbox
makes
thinks
sense.
I go to New Zealand every time a new game comes out.
This guy travels a lot.
Yeah, like this, I'm on it. You know, Air Mom.
He's got those Southwest rewards.
Right?
Flying. They're not international, but he's flying. He's flying there on it. Yeah, no, that's sweet for them. Just a little bit of tidbit news there. I don't really have much to say. But speaking of Game Pass, story number 6, guys. Has Game Pass hit 30 million subscribers? On the most recent episode of The Grill, a podcast presented by The Wrap, I don't even know what this is. It's on Yahoo News. I assume it's some little
Yahoo's
website.
still a thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yo, shout out Yahoo. I still have my email from long ago. All right. There's still my email. But Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two, and Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, were discussing the games industry. And as is usual, the conversation turned to the sustainability of Xbox Game Pass. Near the end, the show, Strauss remarks, Phil didn't pitch his own service here, which is impressive given that he could. But I think the last time we spoke, you got about 30 million subs, right, Phil? Something like that. Phil Spencer responds, the last public number we announced is 18, with a chuckle. And then the host says, oh, but it's really 30, leading Strauss to respond, for some reason I thought the number. Anyway, it's more than 18. Did you guys see this clip? And do you think that Strauss just accidentally told us something we shouldn't know?
I think it was just like a mistake on his front and not recalling what the exact number is. Like, I'm sure the number is definitely higher than the 18 million that was like, public announced way back, because they probably provide this information to the, publishers in advance to try to entice them to put their games on Game Pass. Well, now we have 21 million subscribers. It might be a good incentive for you to put your game on here. So definitely going to be higher, but 30 million from like the last announcement, which was like last quarter, they said that, right?
No, January was 18
January.
million.
God,
So
if they were
10 months, 10
that means-
months for
that means they would have
12
went up
million?
12 million, and that would be a massive increase. That would be a massive. I don't know. I don't.
No.
I don't believe it.
You don't think so, Garrett?
I don't
Tell me
think so
why.
either.
No. Well, I didn't watch the scene yourself, but I can guarantee you if Phil Spencer started like doing a nervous chuckle in an interview,
Mhm.
that's just because like the guy misread the loop on the 2. I could see 20.
I don't know, guys. I remember a few months ago, it was like
Well, no,
Jez,
I just figure
right?
like sorry, I'll just finish up quick. I just
Yeah.
figure at 30, that would be like a self-sufficiently milestone. And
Mhm.
do you not think that they would be sending like an Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos worthy competitive slap on the back to PlayStation? Like, our games as a service is self-sufficient.
Well,
Like,
I don't think
just
even
like
at
some
30
little Twitter thing that people would talk about. I think so. Or not even at 30, you think?
Man, I don't think at 30 it's profitable still. I still think they're taking a loss leading position. But
At
I'm
30 million paying $10 or $15 a month.
Yeah.
That's
They're
a
getting
lot of
big
money.
games on there. It is a lot of money. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, guys, because you're both like, nah, this was just a little mistake. It's probably like 20. I swear to God, like a few months ago, Jez Corden or someone was like, it's 24 now, like 24 million. That was a few months ago. So for me, I think this was a slip. Like, I watched the interview multiple times, and the CEO of Take-Two, who would 100% have access to this number because they've had Red Dead on there, they've had Grand Theft Auto on there recently, like, he would know this number. I think he accidentally said what he's been told in private, and Phil's nervous chuckle was like, I can't confirm that because we haven't said that to our investors yet. Maybe at the next financial quarterly report that they do, that's when they're going to announce it. If it's not 30, it's damn close. I would bet you. I bet it's nearing 30 million. And maybe he rounded up. Maybe he rounded down. Who knows? 12 million in 10 months with the last 10 months they've had for Game Pass. Like, we've had big drops. We've had Outriders. We've had MLB The Show.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
getting
no.
Scarlet Nexus. Like, Xbox has come out this year firing. I don't think 12 million is out of the realm of possibility, especially because Series S's have been in stock. All right, like not Series X, like you can't get that, but Series S is pretty available. I go to stores now and I see them. Cloud, PC, like I think it's completely possible, guys.
I can't believe it though. It's a year's time. Like, I get the console has been like off store shelves for such a long time, and they're getting sold out immediately. Besides the Series S, which lasts a couple hours before they're out of stock as well. But dude, I don't know, 30 million. Like, all right, so like, and then there's the thing. Like, all right, so is it like 30 or 12 million new people signed up for Game Pass possibly, but are they still subscribed? Do we know that? Like, or is this consistent subscriber numbers? That's what. So even then, it's still a lot of like, we don't know what, like, for sure. Because to me, I don't care about like, all right, we got 12 million new people that sign up for Game Pass this year. They all were on it on the free trial, and then it resub. That can, like, we don't know those numbers are like, there's still so many different factors. We don't know if it's 30 million. I'm 20. I'm saying 20. I'm gonna put a bet on this. I'll buy you Diablo 2.
Ooh, okay. All right. If it's definitely more than 20, but if it's 30 if the next publicly announced number is 30 million, Like, let's say, like in the next,
gladly rub it in my face. When's the
Yeah.
next quarterly period?
yeah, whenever the next quarterly period comes out, if it's 30 million, I get Diablo 2.
I'm
Yes.
just amazed how you think that if there's 30 million concurrent users, that like based on $10 to $15 price range, that's $300 to $450 million
But
monthly.
they're
How
not.
doesn't
People
that
aren't
pay?
paying that though. People aren't paying that though. They're doing the Xbox Live Gold
Oh
conversion.
yeah, I
They're doing
guess
the
the dollar
$1
thing
deals. Like they
where
aren't
people are
getting the
like,
full
yeah.
15.
I think the majority of people aren't doing that though. I think those are just the people who know of it. I think
Yeah,
more.
like
I think
we
like
all met
for
on Reddit. I think that's just the community that we frequent.
It's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. No, yeah. Listen, perception is reality, and my perception is everyone's doing that gold conversion. So
Every single day, every third
every
person.
day, gotta remember to get my Xbox Live Gold card today to convert.
Yeah.
No, all right. I'll take that. I'll take that. We're gonna move into story number 7 though, since we don't have definitive news. We'll see in a few months. But Dolby Vision gaming is now available on Xbox Series X and S. Coming from Katie Slattery over on Xbox Wire, as of September 28th, gaming in Dolby Vision is now available on Xbox Series X and S consoles. More than 100 next-gen HDR titles optimized for next-gen consoles are available. Xbox Series X are the first consoles to support gaming in Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos to enhance both visual and audio while playing. Obviously, your TV needs to support Dolby Vision, but this could enhance your visual experience. I think I might be the only one on this panel with a TV that actually supports Dolby Vision. Is that accurate?
I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's like an improved HDR, basically. It's I personally don't.
It's more colorful, from what I hear.
Yeah, it makes things look better a little bit. Like I really don't. It's not as big of a difference as like going from non HDR to HDR. Like that is a bigger drop or bigger difference in my opinion. I can enable.
Oh, so you tried it?
Yeah, I have Dolby. Yeah, I have Dolby Vision on my OLED. It's fine. It's only they say it's available in 100. I saw Tom Warren say that it's available on 10. So I booted up Psychonauts 2 and like, yeah, it looks more colorful. Like, but I don't know how much I'm going to use it. Like, I don't know. It's a thing. It's there for people that want it. Maybe I just don't have the keen eyes to appreciate Dolby Vision. I don't know. But it's not nearly as dramatic as they're making it out to be. It's not like, oh my God, we got Dolby Vision and PlayStation doesn't, like, suck it. It's not a thing.
Huh.
But I'll try more games and report back once it expands, because it's not many games that I play right now that were on the 10 that Tom Warren listed. Even though they say 100, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I'll look into it more and report back at some point.
Yeah, because I feel like that's something I have to personally see. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy a TV that has Dolby Vision to experience it firsthand.
Yeah, no, I don't think you. Same with Dolby Atmos. I don't have Dolby Atmos. That's something you have to pay for. That's like a subscription. You need like sweet surround. It's like a surround sound experience. I'm not paying to make my sound better. I'll play with my Turtle Beach headphones or whatever they are. Not an audiophile. So definitely don't run out and get an OLED just for Dolby Vision. That's all I'm saying. But we can move on, since I'm the only one that has any input on that story. Story number 8. And Tom, you brought this one up. I didn't even catch this, but running emulators on your series consoles just got easier. Coming from Andy Robinson over at Video Games Chronicle, the latest Xbox Series X and S system update has now made it easier for users to emulate classic consoles. An update to the console's Edge web browser, which improves the performance of JavaScript-based emulators, which can be accessed without the need to put the console in developer mode. All Series X and X owners now need to do to access emulators is go to one of these Java-based script emulation sites, and they have access to the emulators for N64, PlayStation, Super NES, Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, MS-DOS, I don't even know what that is, Amiga, and more, because Xbox's browser blocks file access. Users will need to use illegal links hosting both the emulator and the ROM in order to play it. And you had me until that last sentence. I'm not doing that shit. But Tom, you brought this up. I'm gonna throw it to you. Why did this catch your eye there?
I mean, it's more like game preservation stuff that I always think about. And I think being able to have access to these emulators from the browser is just going to be so much easier for people instead of having to go into developer mode, which costs $20. And then you have to go afterwards, install the program onto your Xbox. This just makes it a lot more easy. It's easier. So, yeah, you have to click on links to pull up these games, but that's what emulation has always been. There's always this legal gray area with emulation. Like, even though I might own a copy of Super Mario World on my on a Super Nintendo and I have it in the attic stored, doesn't mean I can technically play it off emulator, because it's just weird like that legal wise. So yeah, it's a do at your own risk kind of deal. It's a thing. If you like emulation, it's great. If you like emulation, I should say. I mean, right off your web browser. It's how easier it can't get any easier than that. I'm not sure how the performance is going to be comparatively to using it on, on a native application through the dev mode. I haven't seen videos on that just yet. But if I get an update, I'll probably come back to that and touch on it later on.
Garrett, what are you thinking about emulation here?
It always gets too complicated, so I tend to leave it alone. I'm sort of in the same thing as you, where it's like, I have to do illegal thingies. I'm good with the illegal thingies.
Especially on my $500 console.
Yeah, like, I don't need it. I have more than enough to play.
Listen, just wait till the end of October. You can get the Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack, and then you can play N64 and Sega games on your Switch.
Yeah, 864 games. Great. But there's a whole library that's not there. And what about the Dreamcast? So there's still things like that out in the woods where you can't play anywhere else unless you own the Dreamcast.
Yeah, the only thing that would tempt me would be Power Stone for the Dreamcast.
Oh, Power Stone's awesome.
Yeah, that's about the only game that would tempt me enough to go through that process.
I don't know, man. The N64 games the N64 games they picked were some of the good ones. They're adding more of the good ones. As soon as you get Pokemon Stadium, I'm probably in for a little. I'll probably hook up.
Okay, so they don't have ready
illegal hacker.
They don't have Ready to Rumble on there, so the list is already flawed. One of the best 2-player boxing games on the N64. They don't have it. Their entire list is invalidated, and I don't want to play Super Mario 64 again. That already came out. I
don't care about Super Mario 64. I can play I don't care about Banjo. I got better Banjo on my Xbox. That's why I'm saying, it's all right. You put Smash 64 on there, I'm there. You put Pokemon Stadium, I'm there. I don't really care about everything they kind of like. Mario Tennis is sweet. I like Mario Tennis. I'm not gonna pay more money for it. Especially, I bet that service is gonna be like $10 more, which
it probably would be.
Is a rip
and they're not gonna improve their damn system. I know this is an Xbox podcast, but Nintendo, your online infrastructure is garbage. This increase in price better do something about your guys' friend system.
Bro, they just upgraded their servers this year.
Doesn't do anything though. I'm talking about the actual ease of use of the system is such dog crap. I don't care about your servers.
Yeah. I'm with you. Sega Genesis games on there are pretty decent though. They got Shining Force, Phantasy Star 4, Sonic, if you like Sonic.
I mean, Genesis was a trash console, so I really don't care.
Whoa, now this I won't stand for, man.
Did you have the Genesis?
Yes, Genesis is a good console.
See, while people were getting the Genesis, I had a PS1, and I was experiencing better games.
I had an N64 and a Genesis. I didn't have a PS1.
You were missing out.
I had a PS2 for a little bit, but I played the N64 majority of the time, and then sometimes I would be like, let's fire up the Genesis, and I had fun with the Genesis. I don't know why you're hating on it, man.
It's trash.
All right. Well, now that we know you hate Sega, and
Well, no, I love Dreamcast, so I like Sega.
okay, all right, yeah, I have it on good authority. Dreamcast was ahead of its time. Gregor's in the chat says, "Why don't you know what DOS is?" LOL. I can't tell if that's serious or not. Do you guys know what the MS DOS is? Am I being dumb?
Yeah, MS DOS. It was a cartridge based, not a cartridge. They use like floppy disk, I believe, for those games.
I have no idea what this is.
It was pretty much a computer itself. It's a weird system.
Garrett, back me up here, man.
Yeah, no, I'm going completely behind Kevin on this one. You
My
guys are all
man.
weird with your inauspicious things. Next thing you know, you're going to be telling me about something that you like saw in a joke video online where like some kid had to use a pull cord and pop in some gas in the front yard to get
You're
his
losing me
console
now.
working.
You're losing. Oh, yeah.
No,
Okay.
I was that Adam Ruins Everything. I saw like a little video of him where he did like a little spoof thing where he basically brought like a lawnmower into the family room and it was an old console. It only had 3 sounds, 4 buttons. It was great.
Oh, you're speaking of the buttons. The fact that they're not releasing the 6-button Genesis controller and they're only giving you 3 is ridiculous. Genesis has 6 buttons.
That's gonna suck for fighting games.
Yeah, well, what's the point?
Like, why are you
Like, we
they're
want
like
you
this?
to play, but we also want you to suffer a little bit.
So Genesis had 2 controllers back in that. You either had the 6-button one or you had the 3-button one. But apparently, according to Nintendo, most people use the 3-button one in the United States, and that's why we're getting the 3-button one. And I was like, I've never even seen this 3-button controller. The 6-button one is clearly this should be the standard, because otherwise you have to hit like the select button to do shit. Like, it's not convenient in the slightest. But that's my last rant about the Genesis. Gregor says, stop saying DOS. No, I've never heard of it. How am I supposed to know? He also says, unrelated, Sega's always been ahead of its time.
And that's why they always failed. That's why the Saturn failed, because they released it a little too early before the PS1 came out. And that's why the Dreamcast failed, because they were too ahead of their time, and then the PS2 came out. They just have to, they should have been aligned with everyone else, and they might have been still a viable gaming company.
And stop making Sonic games. They're bad. Unless you're gonna give me Sonic Heroes again.
You could only make a blue hedgehog so exciting. Just let it rest.
That dude, he was a werewolf once. That was amazing.
That's the worst game ever. Sonic Adventure Battle 3, I will take, and Sonic Heroes 2, I will take.
What about the racing games?
I actually kind of like the racing games, to be honest. I've played all of those. I have one on my console, Sonic Team Racing or something. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty fun. Yeah, I played this off top. We're talking about Sonic now, but the Sonic Racing game where you had hoverboards. I played it on the GameCube. You know what I'm talking about? It was like a green hedgehog he fought. I forget.
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh man, what is that? I can't remember the name of this one.
Vague glimpses, but I can't piece together a game.
All right. Well, there's one where he rides. There's one where most people ride like super fast hoverboards, and then he'll just like run.
A few games though. Like
he rides hoverboards.
I think that was in a few of them though, right?
I think you're thinking about like when he uses the snowboard and goes down like the San Francisco roads down the hill. No, but that's Sonic Adventures. Like,
hell, that's 2. Sonic Adventure Battle 2. Rolling around at the speed of sound. That's the song that plays. Escape the City. It sounds like it's about suicide, but we're gonna move on. I've examined that song. It's a banger. You guys should go listen to it. But I think that's all we got this week, guys. I've had fun. It's been a good show.
Yeah. I think I've ranted enough. I'm good.
All right. No, we're good. All right. Well, with that, we will say our goodbyes. Tom, do you want to tell everyone where they can find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Alpaca Tom.
Garrett, where can they find you?
You could find me at WaywornG at Twitter and on Xbox.
And you can find me at the Muffin Mon. It's you'll see it under my name here most of the show. It's a 1 instead of an I and an O instead of an A. And with that, we are out. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace.